Hello and welcome to Bosh TV.
Happy Christmas, or the Christmas period.
Yeah, goodness gracious, hasn't it gone quick this year?
In today's video, we've got 6 wicked vegan Christmas showstoppers that you can cook for the most epic Christmas dinner.
Now the first one of this wonderful selection is our OG. It's the ultimate Christmas mushroom Wellington. Oh, look at that portobello mushroom, puff pastry. Oh my goodness, look at the hue.
In case you're wondering what those letters are, that is LOTV, Living on the Veg. That was our TV show on ITV.
And if you're wondering what this is, it is one of our greatest ever recipes. This is the mushroom Wellington.
This is a proper wicked centerpiece. This is probably what most of you are going to be cooking this year, I'd imagine. Are you going to cook this year?
I reckon so. It'd be rude not to.
Yeah,
wonderful dish.
It's such a great showstopper. It's a great centerpiece. It always delivers, so it's well worth a go. And the hero are these little beautiful portobellos.
And look at that little herb oil that we've just made there. It's got some fantastic earthy herbs, it's got that garlic, it's just gonna make those mushrooms taste unbelievable.
Of course you want the big ones, because that's gonna be, we're gonna see where those mushrooms will come back later on. If you wait, just wait, you'll see what we mean.
And all of this is gonna bind beautifully over those mushrooms. You've got that bread in there, the pecans, oh, the chestnuts, wow.
Oh. Such an amazing dish.
Yeah, it really is. Now, getting into the sort of the bits of it, you need those onions in there with a bit of salt. Oh my goodness. I've made this 4 years running, have you?
I've had this pretty much every single year. Actually, one of the ones we've got coming later on in this video, the jackfruit. Yeah. I know you like to make that one.
I love that.
I might make that, but I'll make that as well as this Wellington.
Yeah, well, I mean, why not? Because you're cooking for your family, MJ's family, and maybe your sister's coming down as well. Oh my God. Look, I think it's worth talking about those minced mushrooms. What a great technique.
Yeah, so that is literally using mushrooms, using a blender to make them super, super fine, and then they become just like mince.
And we've got some white wine in there. I'm surprised that we didn't get a glass of white wine out for this video.
I know. Oh. We've got our Christmas hats on though, so that's enough.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Now the wet mix is mixed with the dry mix, and as you can see there, it's got a really nice kind of like bindy texture. It will clump beautifully.
Now traditionally in a Wellington, you might make a mushroom duxelle, and that's what we're gonna do in a later video, but here we've kind of created a duxelle stuffing, filling type situation, lay it on top of the pastry, and then look who comes back into the mix.
Those lovely portobello mushrooms, and it just looks really, really interesting. That I think if you've got kids and they want to sort of get their hands mucky and cook some food, this is a great recipe to do that with.
In terms of time, you're probably looking at about hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours to get this done from start to finish. There's quite a few bits to get through, but it's that time of year when it's worth taking your time.
Yeah, and it's not that difficult. It's like anyone who is keen on cooking will be able to make this no problem. And also, just to note, we're using short crust pastry here, but you could easily use puff.
In fact, puff would probably be a bit more traditional,
yes,
for a Wellington such as this. But we like the bite of short crust, and that's why we've gone for that here.
And there we go. Now we're going to make a little bit of a glaze because obviously we don't have egg. LOTV, living on the veg. We've used milk for our glaze, just to sort of protect the top of the pastry and to give it a really nice golden hue. Wow,
look at that. And you can see those skewer holes have done their job. They've made sure that gas could escape so the thing didn't explode.
Oh my goodness. And there it is, the perfect cut. Oh yes, we hit that perfectly. That portobello mushroom just looks so interesting in that duxelle.
And that's what your guests are going to be seeing on Christmas dinner. They'll each have a little slice of mushroom inside the Wellington. It's going to look absolutely beautiful.
Nice gravy, lovely potatoes, great veggies, wonderful mushroom Wellington. What is better? I mean, really, you name me a better Christmas dinner.
We just got to pop a cracker now, mate.
Exactly.
Oh no, they're not sustainable.
Oh, this is true.
Speaking of which, let's get on to another sustainable centerpiece. This is our big Bosh nut roast.
Oh my days. Now, nut roast used to get a bit of a bad rep. It used to be a little bit too vegan. But you know what? If you make a good nut roast, it can be a fantastic centerpiece. And that is exactly what this is.
So we actually cooked this recently in the Bosh kitchen, and it reminded me just how delicious this really is.
Oh, it's amazing. And again, the minced mushrooms come into play because it's such a great thing just to recreate that texture of meat.
The key thing with this nut roast is we're hitting it with loads and loads of flavour. The kind of bad rep that nut roasts get is because they're traditionally like just kind of nutty and dry, and it tastes a bit like eating cardboard. But we inject this one with so much flavour, it really is delicious.
And also, think about this, you wouldn't expect a Christmas dinner centerpiece to be that healthy, but look at how much good stuff is going into this pan.
Absolutely, I mean this would fill you full of protein.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you will definitely be completely satisfied. There's nothing that's bad in there. It's all really great stuff. And I like the technique of using mashed parsnip as a binder.
Absolutely, really, really, really clever. Now you're going to use a loaf tin here. That is the best thing, absolutely. So get yourself one of these if you can. Otherwise, you might be able to freestyle it with like a small lasagna dish or something like that.
Or a cake tin.
Or a cake
A
tin.
nut roast cake.
A nut roast cake.
Video coming soon on Bosh TV.
Brain's always working.
Oh yeah.
And there you go. That is the end result. That is our net roast. That is our nut roast. It's going to be absolutely delicious, full of bite, full of umami flavors, and it just needs to be served on a plate with some absolutely banging roasties and that gravy.
If this is your first plant-based Christmas, you will definitely not be missing that turkey at all with that recipe and this one too.
Let's talk about the giant vegan sausage roll.
Oh mate, well what can you say? I mean, Greg's, come on, eat your heart out, mate.
Exactly, this is a giant Greg's sausage roll. This thing is made with puff pastry, so it puffs up a little bit more, and we've got our own homemade stuffing-like filling inside. It's quite quirky, it's really, really tasty.
Very tasty indeed. And as you've seen, we've used red onions again because it's a great way to sort of build flavour as a base. And there, more mushrooms. We love them.
Yeah, because always never enough room for mushrooms in our house. What could people replace the mushrooms with, do you think?
I mean, lentils is a great shout.
Lentils could work, right?
Uh,
Chestnuts maybe as well?
Chestnuts could be cool. We've never used aubergine in place of mushroom like that. Maybe that could work, potentially.
Yeah, aubergine could work there, yeah. Because we know a lot of people aren't that keen on mushrooms. We love them.
Yeah, and they're really great for you as well. I mean, just Google about vitamin D and mushrooms, because you can get lots of good quality vitamin D from mushrooms. And look, beans.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what you can see is we're adding all of these wonderful filling flavors. If you are subbing out the mushrooms, just get the same quantity of filling and add some more beans, add some more breadcrumbs, add some lentils, as we said before.
Good texture there.
Good texture, it doesn't fall off the spoon, that's what we want.
And look at all these wonderful spices and herbs. You've got fennel, which is gonna be great. Our favorite nooch is in there as well. Garlic, maple syrup, oh, loads of flavor. You just know it's gonna be tasty.
All about layering that flavor, you know, because we're not eating meat. We are vegan at heart, and so everything we eat is plant-based. We want to get all of those flavors in there.
That food processor looked like it was packed to the absolute rafters.
And next we're going to stir through some brown breadcrumbs, so that's making it a little bit healthier than using white. You could use white if you're feeling a bit naughtier. And that is a very convincing stuffing mix. Now it's time to build our pastry.
Woohoo! Puff pastry. Now you can buy that in the shop, we always do, and we always look out for the vegan one. There's loads out there.
Absolutely, they're made with plant-based oils, and they are just such a time saver, because making puff pastry is like, it's a long thing to do and it's a fine art.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would take forever. Now this is quite cool, isn't it? What's happening here?
Yeah, so what are we doing here?
Well, we've made that wonderful little sausage shape, and we've just cut some nice decorative shapes out of the pastry. And the idea here is that this is going to happen. This is really tricky, but you know what? If you get it right, it looks wonderful. Look how cool that looks.
Smooth.
Oh.
And what I really like about when we made this video is you actually used those little cut out bits and put them back on the top.
Oh, it's
look at that. It's like a kind of inverse, exverse. What's the opposite of inverse?
Invert is
Upverse. Inside out situation. You've got one negative, one positive. Beautiful.
All positive though, I think. This is all positive. Look at how great this is.
It's very artistic, so go to town with the decoration of the top of this bad boy.
There we are. That was our old studio. Remember that place?
I remember that place well, and we used the wood tabletop then, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And here we are. Get your mate over, and because I mean it's a big thing. Like you probably don't want to break that on your own. Get rid of all that excess paper there, and what we're left with is something that is going to sit absolutely wonderfully on a very well-dressed dinner table.
That is nicely done. Look, we even found some holly.
I know.
We were running around looking for holly.
I do. That was fun.
Fun times in the Bosh studio, and those are perfect roast potatoes, by the way. Highly recommend that recipe for roast potatoes if you are looking to make the perfect roast potato.
And those carrots are from Bish Bash Bosh, so go check that out. It's the Clementine carrots, and they look absolutely delicious. Roast potatoes, my fave.
Now this next one is my fave. This is the vegan beef Wellington. So for this one, we have used burgers, proper vegan meaty burgers, and made them into a very convincing Gordon Ramsay style beef Wellington.
Oh my goodness, it really does look absolutely wonderful. You wouldn't think that that's vegan, would you?
This is so legit. And this is the trick here, right? We're using the best quality vegan burgers you can find. They're defrosted, and we're gonna squish them all together and roll them into a long sausage.
Now, if your burgers are a little bit brown and you want that redness, you could probably pop a little bit beetroot juice in there, Tom.
Oh, yep, you could. Or just try out different brands. Now, what we're doing here, right, so this is a mushroom pixel. We mentioned that before. It's a French term, and it's the kind of mushroomy, oniony, herby filling that typically goes outside a Wellington. This is quite a classic pixel. So it really is just basically chopped up mushrooms, a little bit of onions and shallots, some garlic, some herbs. That is going to go outside our burger mix that we showed you before.
Fair to say that the food processor is definitely a necessary piece of equipment in this recipe, or really good knife skills.
Yeah, because by doing this by hand, you'd be chopping mushrooms for a long time.
Oh yes, you would. And here we're just sort of sweating out that excess moisture so it gets a nice firm texture, and then we're just going to chill that out for a bit.
Now this dish, I can't recommend it enough. If you are in the mix for something a little bit different, maybe you've made the Bosch Mushroom Wellington and you want to try something a little bit different this year, this is such a good one to try. The flavors are incredible.
Yeah, look, you're sealing that big sort of sausage by kind of just cooking it and caramelizing the edges. Great technique.
Yeah, you are going to find different burgers, different plant-based burgers will have different reactions to the heat. Some of them may not brown, depending on how they're made. It's okay. And the next thing we're going to do is add a bit of mustard on the outside, proper Gordon Ramsay style.
Oh yeah, and then we've got our mushroom mince, and then we've got that biodegradable cling film, which is available online. Make sure you get that stuff. And here's your dish. Oh, look at that. This is going to be the fun part now.
Artistic, look at this.
Yes.
Proper roll, that is.
Roll it tight, roll it nice.
Roll in, roll in, roll in.
Oh yeah, it looks like a black pudding. Oh my goodness, it's a funny old thing.
I hate the idea of black pudding.
Yeah, me too. Let's not talk about black pudding any longer. Puff pastry again, why not?
Yes, and this is a point to be really nice and OCD. You want to get a real clean roll there with your puff pastry. Roll that whole thing up, tuck in the ends carefully. You can use a little bit of milk to seal the ends if you need, and then you're going to baste that dairy-filled milk all over the top as well. Nice
decoration there, some holly to match the holly that's on the table dressing from the last video.
But bang that in the oven. So that bad boy is now golden. It's looking absolutely beautiful, and just check out how good this looks inside. Oh,
perfect.
Incredible.
Wowzer. That is a fantastic thing to have on a Christmas dinner plate. It's super meaty, it's super satisfying, it goes perfectly with roast potatoes like every dish in this recipe video does. So yeah, amazing.
That's a showstopper, if I ever did see one.
It genuinely is, it's awesome.
Like I said, this is my favourite. Mushroom Wellington is kind of the obvious choice, it's a classic, but this is my personal favourite.
Yeah, I can see why, because it is so different and so unexpected, and it's the sort of thing that you just wouldn't see on a regular vegan Christmas dinner table. It's awesome.
I think the next video is going to be your favourite.
Oh well, look at that! Look at how wonderfully textured that gravy is as well.
Oh yeah,
just want to
perfect gravy. Yeah,
right now. Oh my goodness. So that was our fantastic Wellington. This is our fantastic one tray Christmas dinner. Oh!
So is this your favourite, am I right?
I think so, yeah, because it's so easy and it's the perfect thing for a new vegan because they can pop it on one tray and not hog the whole oven. It's great.
So the idea here is we're using that jackfruit to essentially create like a kind of pulled turkey effect. That's the most important thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, look, we're getting all of our veggies kind of prepped and ready because they're all going to live on the same tray at the same time, but they're going to be cooked at different times, which is the actual beauty of this whole recipe.
Yes. So we've already got the potatoes on there. They've gone on the tray. Here's our jackfruit. That's getting tossed in some wonderful spices. We're going to pull that jackfruit to make sure that we get those nice little fibres as well.
And the technical term of good glug of olive oil. Perfect. Look, see what's happening here? We're just kind of tucking it in there, just tucking it nicely away so we can, look at this, we even did the gravy on one tray. This is good. This is
no messing about. This is a perfect recipe for if you have got like one person coming around who wants to eat veggie or vegan. This would be a great thing for them to cook up.
Yeah, I mean, also, the thing is about this, say if there was just one person eating plant-based, this is going to do you for Christmas dinner, it's also going to do you for bubble and squeak, because that is a lot to eat in one sitting.
If you don't know what bubble and squeak is, it's the kind of lovely little potato cakes that you make with your leftovers. We got a recipe for that on Bosch, just search for it.
So delicious. And here is the delicious gravy. You've got that red onion that we roasted from earlier, loads of red wine, loads of fantastic flavour, and simmer. Just give it some time, baby.
Simmer! Who got the keys to my thick gravy?
Me. And a bit of salt and a bit of sugar, and make sure you just taste it. It makes simmer until you've got it just so.
Ah, look at that. That was effortless.
Yeah, it really is. It's sick. Look, those potatoes are good as well.
Jackfruit's looking great, got those lovely fibres on there. We're gonna get some sprouts on that tray as well. Of course, you've got to season as you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, actually, if you think about it, this is really, really inventive. It's really important sort of time of the year for a lot of families, and this is a great way to get everyone happy on Christmas Day.
So it is, and it's so speedy. You know, you're gonna get this done with the minimum of effort because the oven is doing most of the work, and we've sorted out the timings for you.
Potatoes, jackfruit, carrots, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, gravy, all on one tray. Wow.
Wow, and wow is the right word for our next one, which is a giant mince pie.
Oh my God, I love mince pies, and this one might well be one of the most luxurious mince pies you could ever wrap your mouth around.
So this is not going in the center of your dinner table with the roast.
No.
Because that would be weird. You're not gonna have a mince pie with your potatoes and your gravy and your stuffing. That just doesn't go.
But once all of the roast dinner has been eaten, this would indeed sit in front of everybody in the middle of the table. Make a nice sort of brandy cream, oh, great stuff.
Yeah, this recipe honestly is absolutely incredible. And I always find with mince pies, you know, it's quite a lot of faff to make the individual little ones. And this gives you all of those wonderful flavors, that lovely kind of mincemeat in the middle. You've got all of those Christmassy spices, all of that goodness, and you haven't got to do lots and lots of little individual ones. You just do one giant pie.
And make no mistake about it, with this recipe, we did not hold back at all. We went to town. Look at that fantastic pastry. We're gonna have to wrap that up again with that biodegradable cling film and pop it in the fridge. And then this is gonna take a while, but it'd be so worth it.
And a really nice touch here is we're actually showing you how to make your own short crust pastry here. This is like a nice homemade recipe. It is gonna taste that little bit better when you do make the effort to make it yourself. But if you wanna use the shop bought stuff, go for it.
But if you're gonna make an effort at any time of the year, it is gonna be Christmas. So yeah, set yourself aside maybe a good hour, if not 2, to make this.
Yes.
But it'll be really worth it, trust me.
Now we've blind baked that pastry just to make sure that we don't get a soggy bottom. No one wants a soggy bottom, do they?
Absolutely not.
That is gonna make sure that that pastry base is already started to cook before we add all of that wonderful mince filling.
And that texture of that mince filling is really good. It's really thick. It's already holding together. And that demerara sugar is going to sit on those pastry stars beautifully and caramelize and just give it a really nice restaurant look. Look at that.
I mean, that is a beautiful thing, not that hard to put together, and an absolute showstopper when you put that on the table in front of your guests.
Now, we went with cashew cream, but if you can't be bothered with that, you can get some dairy-free ice cream, you can get some oat cream, and yeah, just tuck in. Goodness gracious, what a wonderful selection of videos.
As always, all of those recipes are available on bosh.tv, as well as the fact we just showed them to you. So if you want to cook them, please be our guests.
And let us know what you thought about those recipes in the comment section below. We will be very interested to read what you think.
Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit like if you like this video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas! Woo!